Alright, so Druid Tech here with a video coming in with what I'll be using for day one of the new raid. Um, so we're gonna hop into it. I'll be running my hunter, and so this is pretty much what I'll be running for day one. So you'll be my team will be doing a 2-2-2 system: two hunters, two titans, two warlocks. But this will be what I'll be running. So hunter. So if any warlock mains or titan mains that watch me, dearly sorry. I'll be only running hunter due to, well, hunters. So starting off, this is like one of my builds here. So starting off, this is with Gear Falcons, and this is mostly just going to be a general add clear puzzle type deal. So this is kind of like what I have going on to the build right here. So we preview here. This is kind of like what I have going on. It's pretty much a Devourer like build. So I have health up the entire time, and with Repulsor Brace giving me Overshield, comes in handy. I might swap out my other half for a Commemoration, so I can have that constant uptime if I run out of special ammo or vice versa, or it's just not cutting out. Also, I do have a avoid a surge, just because it'll bump the damage out for my Hollow Denial, just to have that extra oomph. It'll also come in handy if maybe I need to switch to Funnel Web, which Funnel Web is always still a good, valuable, pick going in if I just feel like double special isn't working, even though double special is not fixed at this moment in time. Going back over to the build here, so you can see that I'm running a heavy finder and a heavy scout with a void siphon. I'm running double healing on the orb pickup on my boots, just to have, because one is pretty good, but having that double is not too bad as well. Even though, yes, I have Devour, sometimes it's just going to be hard to proc Devour a little bit on the Void Breaches that you'll have from this fragment right here, or aspect, whatever you want to call it. And I'll be running Vortex Grenades just because they got a good buff. Vanishing Step and Styles Execution, just so I can have these four right here. You don't have to, but this is what I'll be running because it's very nice. That's pretty much what's going on. In my gloves, I have Firepower because, well, nades and Devour, so this will be dropping orbs. And then Void Reloader just to reload my weapons a little bit faster. And with Bolster Detonation, if you don't know what that mod does, grants class energy when you cause damage with a grenade. So you would constantly have your dodge up. Now you can either do Gambler's Dodge to have that smoke to help out with the debuff, or you can actually have Marksman because it's better, but it just depends on like the setup or what's going on. Right now I was in the middle of something, so I had to use that, but Marksman Dodge would be the best one, so you can reload all your weapons going in. Now, maybe you don't want to use Wither Horde. You can definitely use Aggro Scepter and swap this out for a Deafening Whisper, this one I got, or you can do a different setup. So this is just like the general gist of like what I'll be going in. Say like totems. This would be like kind of what I want to run, or for a counter 3 of for Val. This is kind of my general play one on Void. This will be mostly where I'll be spawning a lot of heavy ammo. It does the exact same thing as double special, but this would be where I can, like, throw an Izanagi, can throw on a chill clip, or throw on my hothead, or I can do, just a lot of different things. I can even do this build right here, do that. It's a lot of different things you could probably run. That's also a build right here. So this is just my general play one that I can spawn heavy ammo. And again, I forgot to kind of talk over this part, where you can, it's pretty much the infinite special ammo generator, or I like to call it the infinite money printer. So you'll have two empowering finishers with a special finisher, and so I'll always have a constant special deposit. While also, since I'll be running double special, heavy bricks should be dropping, and should be dropping for my teammates since I have scout. With that going on, I also have Aeons, so if I ever finish a orange or a yellow bar, it should be dropping special and heavy, or vice versa. So I should be printing out bricks, for a good while. And that's pretty much the build for this one. It's a general build. I don't have to be void. I can be solar, strand, I can be either or, but void might be the best one just because of the going invisible part. Now going to my other void build right here. This is more like, again, like if we're in totems or anything, we need orb generation stat. This is another good one that can run with it. Orpheus Rigs is pretty good. I probably suggest it more over Gear Falcons right now due to the seasonal artifact Volatile Flow. But it's a good pick, I would say, to have and bring in. Definitely, there's a bunch of ads that spawns with the boss, or just you need a big ad control like third encounter Val. So very, very good. For solar, this is my DPS for solar. And this depends if like the other hunter is going to be void. Ignore that. But this is pretty much what we'll be doing for DPS. And yeah, it showed that I went to a primary, but I can also have just a Hall Denial on and be perfectly fine. It just depends on like the setup, what's going on into DPS. Something that can really change. And this is Golden Gun. I can definitely just change it to Blade Barrage and change one of my fragments here. If you want to know what the solar build is that I have for this one, I'll try to be slow about it, but this is pretty much what I'll be running. This is for just DPS, so I'll have a powerful friends, so I'll be picking up orbs, and everyone else should be getting weapon surges as well. I'll have one charge up, and I'll have time dilation. Now I can swap out this charge up to actually have more resistance going on, because resistances are going to be pretty good. Hold on, let me switch back to my Gero Falcons just because that's what I'll be running. So for like resistances, since I have a harmonic and I'm on void, I'll be having resistance to void, solar, and conducive. My theory is that we're going to go against void and solar. So if not, then just kind of work it around. You don't really need to mess with reserves. If you really want to mess with reserves, I would say have an off chest piece to help with reserves and just swap back after you rally. But that's the whole gist of like my plan to go with. But this is my solar for DPS. Then for this is another void one. This is for more of a DPS actually. I forgot about this one. Sorry, it's kind of weird with this mod systems. Please forgive me. But this is for DPS void, and this would be kind of doing the Izanagi with a horde, Izanagi high head strat or Arbalest with Cataclysm. It kind of depends. But this is where we would do the exact same thing as my solar DPS. There it is. There's the the resistance ones. But yeah, that's pretty much the idea of like DPS, 2-time dilations, weapon surges. Then you have resistances, your dexterity and reloaders. It's preference on that, but that's to be the idea with firepower, so I can make me an orb, so then I can be powerful for friends. My other general gist of a solar build is this. It'd be pretty much using Assassin's Cowl for invisibility and the health. Pretty much I replaced the grenade with heavy-handed, so I can have my orbs generate off of what I have for my blades, my knife trick. So this would be the kind of general gist going into that. Again, nothing kind of really changed. So that's pretty much it for that. Now, if if like Strand becomes like very helpful, this is my Strand build. The reason why I'm running Warm Husk is that sometimes I'm not really suspending and I'm actually using my dodge to kind of reload or whatever. So that's pretty much what I'll be using it for, is the extra health on stack with Woven Mail, just to have a constant uptime on healing. And honestly, if I have my Repulsor Brace going on at the same time, this is just a safety net, and I always encourage safety nets in the long run. But this could be swapped out for the new exotic. But this is what this will be running on Strand. If this is my general gist play of Strand. Now this is my DPS phase on Strand, and so what this is, let me get to the build here. This is for Gallowhorn. You can get a huge Gallowhorn, like you can shoot off all your shots on Gallowhorn. So pretty much why I'm running these boots here is that the whole strat is that I'm doing here because of, where's the fragment? This fragment right here. So what I'll be doing is I'll shoot 2 Gallowhorn shots, reload with my dodge, fire 2 more, use my grapple point or either or, and then the dodge here is just so if anyone else is doing hot swaps and they run out of special ammo like Izanagi or whatever, this will come in handy for the reload boost and handling. It might mess up a little bit on these hot swaps, but if say we're doing more of a rocket dump, this would be like the ideal area. It's very helpful. Another general just one, another one to do DPS with. So even if I was using Galley, say I was using Hothead, I can just do this as a DPS build that I have as well. That's pretty much my builds for my Hunter. Now, to get into the weapons, it's kind of personal preference, but kind of a, I think people should get the kind of slight idea. So we're going to start off with the top slot here. Forerunner is very good for double special running, including for doing DPS. It's pretty much the pistol from Halo, if you think about it. So this will be coming in handy whenever doing that. It does well good damage. It has good ammo economy, and I will be running that in if it calls for it. I'll have a Riptide chill clip, and with chill clip you can stop unstops it coming in. Also you can just pause enemies that are just a little too aggressive for you or anything. Very good overall. I also have a compulsive reloader. Just it just depends. I like using field prep just for that extra reserves. Banshee is selling this one. This one I kind of like due to if I was doing any setups doing damage. Again, also I didn't show up a stasis build because I'm not thinking of bringing stasis in. Also, you Void, Strand, and Solar is kind of the play. But this is not a bad sniper just to have. Better than Ikelos, but it's still good. Outbreak is always. A lot of people are thinking of bringing Touch of Malice. I like Outbreak, plus also if you have Outbreak and then you can just swap your mods to a kinetic. What's really cool is with Outbreak is that you will your shots with Outbreak will be do more damage than your fellow Siva appliers, if that's what you want to call them. But with the ramp up, your damage will still be higher than anyone else's with the kinetic surge. So there's something to kind of look into. This does also apply to Touch of Malice and also Wither Horde. Wither Horde can be affected by the kinetic surge and also when you store it. So any of my Wither Horde users doing hot swaps, definitely look into kinetic surge just for the extra DPS. For Arbalest, has a very long it has good ammo reserves, so it'd be this and for Izzy swap, or you can have linear, kind of have a good idea of that, because if you watch my other video and trying to showing off how long stuff, and you notice that RB has a little bit more in the mag, is mostly because RB caddy swap, you have so much ammo reserves that Arbalest will help in that long damage phase. I'm bringing in Agar as well, just because I can have a different setup just like this, so it'd be just another kind of setup to kind of have freeze ray, clear ads. It's overkill, but it's worth it. I do have a prolonged engagement 4x target lock, and you're probably wondering why I have boss spec on it. So with target lock, you can get the same damage output on red bars and orange bars. So boss spec comes in handy just in case for those mini bosses. It's really good. I tested it out on Templar, and it's very whack. You can almost squeeze out about 6k or more on pretty much just that. With Vice Stinger still being nerfed, it's still really good. So I wouldn't say go and farm this, but it'll be my SMG of choice. Then of course Izanagi, going in for the Izanagi hot swaps. Izanagi is very good. So that. Again, I have Deafening Whisper here with Light from Gold, so if I do the other strat that I have, this comes in handy. Waveframes are just really good. It's literally the second is the middle child, or the second best brother to the Wither Horde. I'll be bringing Cloud Strike because Cloud Strike applies really good. So say if I was doing, uh, where is it? Oh, never mind. Here it is. You'll be, if we're doing kind of like this kind of stack chart, this stack thing here with the arc charges or the arc surges, this works. It does apply to when swapping, so there's that. Say that we are doing a different type of setup here. I'll have Trinity Ghoul, just because it's very helpful, very good ad clear. A lot of things in this slot is meant for ad clear or doing DPS. There's never the, I don't know, there's barely a champion dealer in this area other than the SMGs, I guess, and the scout. So Trinity Ghouls there just to clear out ads faster. Doom of Chelchis, you always want to scout with you, I would say personally, because just like how the Oracles and Templar for not Templar, Atheon, scouts were always really good to kind of help that out. So I would suggest at least having a scout. I'll have a div with me. You can run div. One person should be running div at least during DPS, just because it's very helpful. That pretty much is. If you know what div is, you know what div is. For my sniper Ikelos here, I don't have enhanced high impact reserves on, but this is very good to have. Just if you're doing, saying, a solar setup like this, so you're pretty much you're proccing a bait and switch Cataclysm. So this would be very helpful in the mix. Rapid fire frame snipers, just like this one right here, they're the highest DPS snipers you can have in the game. Their recoil is really crazy, but if you're on mouse and keyboard, you can kind of control it really well. Hollow Denial, Dead Given, you already know. Lift and Go Repulsor Brace, really good. I'll be running Callus or Funnel Web, depending what's going on. Callus mini tool is really good. Just Callus, and then Funnel Web's just the go-to due to volatile rounds being there for or pickup. And again, if double special is not working for you, Funnel Web be the way to go. I know that linears have been kind of nerfed, but these are the two linears I'll be bringing, just depending. So Taipan is easy of use, because just you don't have to do the trick to proc its damage perk. With Void Surges, it's pretty much can get its damage close to the equivalent or higher than bait and switch just base. So, like, again, this would be very helpful if you're doing, say, an RB Taipan thing, which is going to be very, really good. Vice Singer is still good to this day, even with the nerf. So if anyone doesn't really, if you don't have a Cataclysm, Taipan is literally free, and I suggest running it over Cataclysm and sweating not having it. Sometimes it's better to run Taipan over Cataclysm due to some circumstances you just can't get bait and switch off, or you mess up your rotation. But if you're really good with proccing your bait and switch with the 3 times solar, you can get a 22%, and so that's like 30 plus 22 to the math, and there you go. Be higher than Taipan, but again, it depends on easy of use and if you're noticing you're messing up on your Cataclysm. I'm bringing Xeno. Xeno's just a really good base overall weapon. A thing I really run a lot when doing stuff. Like, I run it for like intro and totems for King's Fall. I run it for intro on Deepstone, so I do it for power cells and intro area. But Xeno's really just an overall good like exotic. So like if we just don't know like what to run overall, this would still be good. I used this on Daughter's Day 1 King's Fall because I didn't have a Warcliff or anything, and I didn't bring a good hothead at that moment in time because we didn't know if rockets would be good. So this is what I did, and it's a good equivalent damage to doing Warcliff stuff. Really good. And also with the buff to LMGs, Xeno, Does a lot of damage. So say with Xeno, I can go to my Strand build here. What I can do is fire off my Xeno shots, dodge, fire off my Xeno shots, grapple, and then fire my Xeno shots again, grapple, fire all. So I can do a huge, like, this would be an ideal burst DPS if just linears or whatever is just not cutting it, or I'm just feel like I don't know what's going on. This would be my overall let me feel it out build. With Parasite is going to be good for that, just that burst. Like, you just need that burst because we're roaming around so much. I don't think we're going to have an 8-track situation, but I would say Parasite would be a good overall if we needed burst. Again, Parasite is stupid crazy with Solar Surge. And another thing that's really cool is that you can still do more. You can still do damage with the Strand build. It just depends what's going on. If we do have a roaming boss or a, something that needs a lot of like roaming, like not roaming, but just a big bursts, Parasite would be the way to go. Again, Hothead is just really good if you want a auto-loading explosive flight Hothead. I don't have impact casing, but right here it'd be really good. I really need to masterwork it, but this is the best one I have so far because I'm dumb. But this is so far I haven't noticed really that much of a damage fall off against my fellow peers without having impact casing. Just whatever. So an auto-loading explosive flight, Hothead is really good. If you don't have that, Palmera B does drop with explosive flight, which give you 7, then 6. The reason why I have a chill clip one over Bump the Night, just because I don't know, it just I like having Palmera. I'm not expecting to do very much on chill clip, and plus also with chill clip, it's kind of weird anyways with the Gallahorn stuff. So if you're going to run this, you want someone that's running Galley. So this will be a running. I know Bump the Night's probably better, but I haven't noticed. That's just my personal preference as Palmera B with chill clip. Then coming in for commemoration and my other half repulsor brace. I don't think I'll be sorting that much, but it's a movement tool. And if we do need to, if I do need to kill anything, repulsor brace got my back. It's always good to have an LMG. I like this commemoration because volatile rounds be helping in, and I'm glad I got this one to drop during a Deepstone. I like the Deepstone weapon. I like the Deepstone LMG more because of its trait. Even though the trait is not that really noticeable, it's still nice to have. So that's pretty much my whole entire idea and build that I'll be running. I would suggest definitely, if you are not right now have these slots open, I would suggest definitely going out and getting these unlocked. Comes in very handy. And if you want to know the trick behind doing what I did with the no weapons, I can show you right now. So you just grab this blue here. Grab this right here. And grab this heavy. You'll just equip these. Say you have a loadout you want or anything. I'm going to swap to my DPS loadout here. So, like that, I equip these blue weapons. Say I don't want to really show, I don't want to, equip these weapons when I click this loadout. What you'll do is you do that. You'll override. So, this is my DPS one, override. And then what I'll do here, swap weapons, doesn't matter. I'll delete these. And then you go back over and you hover, boom. You don't have the items anymore. This is kind of the way to go for that. That's pretty much it. So, yeah. That's pretty much my whole plan going in for day one and my weapon choices. That's pretty much it for Hunter. That's what I pretty much will be bringing. Nothing really too crazy, I guess. Just a general gist. I know it's a lot of weapons that I'm bringing in, and probably I'll only using maybe a third of these weapons, but it's always best to have your bases covered. I could take some of these weapons out just so if a weapon does drop from the raid and it's better, I could run that. But for right now, that's kind of it. Alright, so that's pretty much it for my loadouts. Shameless plug, but on raid day, me and my clan be going. Some of us will be streaming our point of views of doing the raid. Please check out me and everyone else. I'll try my best to link everyone down below so you can follow them and see each other's POVs. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope this is very kind of informative or anything. Again, if you need to go back over and look at what builds I'm running, please feel free to pause the video and do anything. If you have any questions, I can try my best to answer them in the comments. This is the last day before day of rating, so I hope we all have a great day and hope it's not bugged. Later.